Hey there. So I picked up an Ozark Trails 2-man sleep tent last year on sale from Wal Mart, I believe. It wasn't very expensive. It was actually really cheap. That's why I picked it up. I intended on going camping and then just never got around to it by myself. And it's the 2-man sleep. It's called a Scout 5-foot Scout Junior Dome tent. It's just got a little orange zipper bag. When I opened the box that it all comes in, I got this bag. It's got the tent pegs in it. I'm going to show you one of the things that I already have an issue with. This is just how the tent, this is the peg bag. And yes, I was sitting on my tent. So that's the tent laid out. That's the poles right there that I'm standing on. So this is the top of the tent, obviously, in the center. This is the fly. This is the fly. That's tiny. That's tiny. And then it covers up this little tiny piece of mesh, which I suppose is supposed to be, for ventilation. But I really don't know if it's gonna work. If it's really, really windy, it might flip up. Because there's a space of about a foot between the mesh, maybe a foot between the mesh and the fly top. Here's a more clear view here. So I really don't think that's gonna work out very well, but we'll look. Well, that and it's got these clips to hold half of it on. This is permanent. You always have to have it there. You can't unclip it. So if it's wet, you're just kind of SOL for the day. You unhook it and let it lie against the tent, I suppose. One thing I will point out that I'm not really 100% sure I like. First, I do like this. They've got a little rubber end on it so it doesn't poke through the end piece. So it won't poke through it because it's all protected on the pole. But an issue that I have with these, I don't know if you can tell, but they are extremely thin. They're very thin, and they're really, they feel really fragile to me. So I feel like in a really strong gust of wind, you're going to have an issue here. So we're just going to set this up and see what kind of size we're looking at, I think, is mostly what I'm interested in. Because sometimes 2-man means 1 man, no gear, in my opinion. Considering, well, I guess I can lay down across it pretty well. It's bigger than me a little bit, so that's not too bad. But with, gear inside, there's a whole other issue, and we're just going, like, car camping, essentially. Not even car camping, like, to a provincial park, so it's not really even camping. But we leave the gear that's not food, obviously, in the tent, because you don't have to worry about bears. There's no bears where we're going. The worst you have to worry about is a skunk, and they are more interested in the garbage dump, I would say. So we'll set this up and see what happens. I'll show you the inside of it. So this is the full tent, kind of from where I am, without the fly. And then this is the fly at the back, and the elastic seems really tight at the back for now. This tent is not going to last very long because the elastic is permanent. You'd have to swap it out quite often, especially if you're going to be outside with it. The sun is going to affect the elastic. So you can kind of see the darkness where it is. It's actually, now that it's up, it's less than a foot. Half a foot. 3 inches. Maybe 6. I don't even think that. So that might cause a problem if it rains really, really hard. It's gonna have to rain really, really hard. This is the front where the door is. Quite a small space. Oh look, the little also sewn in. So there's another one. The little extra screen is sewn in. I guess that's useful in that for my 4-man tent I've lost, well, I know where the screen is, I just have literally never used it in my tent because I've always had another tent to use it in. Or another tent. I've always left it out of my tent. I've always forgotten it every time I've ever gone camping in my tent. That's pretty good, I guess. It's kind of useful. I don't know. It's kind of useful. Works pretty good here. I guess it would, you know, carry your keys, hold the light if you've got a light up there. I'm gonna do up the zipper. It's not pegged down because obviously I can't peg it into my floor in my house. I don't know, I could probably piss off my landlord a little bit though. Alright, so I didn't really have that much problem with the door. Occasionally, only one of these has a tag on it, like a zipper pull on it. That seems unfinished, but okay, I guess I don't know. I have no idea why they would only finish one half. There's no back window. That is the back. You're kind of... There's no back window. There's the little warning signs. I usually leave them on. Never really touch them. Smells like a new tent. This is the bug zipper at the bug window at the front. There's a ventilation window. Oh, it doesn't open. There it is, there. So I have two issues with this. And if it rained, which I live in Canada, so you assume it's going to rain quite a bit. The issue that I'm having with this so far is that if it rains, it's going to get really hot in the tent really fast while you're not tarped down. And you can't really do anything without like with this particular tent, without setting up a tarp front end. Now I have seen a couple of really cool setups that go from a tent to a tree, so you can tarp over your tent and create a little entryway to your tent, and I think that's what I'd have to do with this if it did rain an entire trip, because I would not want to spend, you know, from 5 o'clock at night at the end of canoeing or from hiking until the next morning at 9 in my tent, boiling, sweating to death. Because I'm already warm and I'm inside my apartment and it was cold in here this morning. Like, cold enough I put a sweater on, so I'm having issues here. Issues that I'm not really happy with. As far as tents go. I'll show you what I mean on the picture on my own tent. So, oh, look at that. Okay, how's that for poorly finished? It's been stitched down. So here it's stitched. And it keeps being stitched. This part is elastic around the door, I guess, so it keeps the water from getting up into the zipper, which is kind of scary, because that means the zipper is not really well waterproofed or anything. And if this gets holes in it, which it looks like it might already be somewhat developing a hole there, like wear from being enclosed with the zipper, it's no good. But here's this random piece of elastic from the elastic on both sides of it. Oh, that's awful. I've never noticed that on any other tent I've ever had before, and there's a thread sticking out. Oh, that's really poorly done. I guess you get what you pay for. This is my 4-man tent. What I like about this is it's completely covered here. The fly goes all the way down to the ground, and then it opens, so you can see here there's a bit of space, and these kind of pop out their little triangles that actually come forward from the tent itself. All in all, it looks like not a bad tent for what I paid for it, like less than, okay, I think I paid $35 or $40, maybe 50 tops. So, and that's Canadian. So, you know, it wasn't that bad for a cheap tent that kids are going to sleep in. And if I ever go camping, I'll have to look up getting another one for myself. But, yeah, so that's not too bad, I suppose. Talk to you later.